What's up, guys? Chris with CNC for Newbies here. Um, Wanted to go live today to share with you guys some different tools and why they're very helpful. Okay. Um, Few people know these tools, and they are called dial indicators. We also have uh, these type of dial indicators. Okay. So this has a movable tip on it. This has a removable back that you can twist this mount. Um, Somebody says, like that hat. Got my BNR Customs hat on. Facebook user, give me a click up in the description and I'll be able to see your name and give you credit. I would assume it's probably Billy from BNR. but anyways, the end of these dial indicators have a little nub on them that actually unscrews on some of them, and you can put different kinds of probe tips on. Um, and here's a plethora of probe tips. Okay. Um, so what that'll do is allow you to probe longer distances, shorter distances, or offsets rather, and off to the side and straight up and down, and um, different stuff like that. So these are very crucial to uh, uh, getting getting good alignment, getting good tramming, and stuff like that. So you should have those in your toolbox, your CNC toolbox with your bits and stuff. To put it in perspective, I have probably 30 different ones of these. I also have a couple 3-inch ones. These are the 1-inch ones. I have a 3-inch, a couple of them, and I have a couple of 6-inch ones. Okay. And they're really nice for setting up different fixturing and different measurement systems and stuff like that. Um, for the guys that are using like the upgraded X-Carve Z-axis, from Inventables or from CNC for Newbies, the guys that are using the upgraded Shape Oko and stuff like that, um, the these little tools here are great. This is a print. This one is a Thingiverse print, but it's pretty common. Let's see here. Trying to find a way to put my phone up here. Uh, I'm sure it's just FedEx. Okay. um, but this is the uh, small setup. And what's nice about this setup is you can mount it so that your dial indicator is straight up and down, or you turn the back of the dial indicator and you can actually set your backlash, um, with a fixture setup. So that's always nice. And once again, we have the 1/4 inch dowel metal precision dowel rods, slides in. You could super glue it, you can bolt it. The bolt down here allows you to bolt the indicator in and pull it out. um, then there's another one here that has the pin offset, and what this does is you can mount it this way and see what your offset is. Okay. Or you mount it this way and you can sweep your tram. Okay. So what about CA glue? The CA glue can go inside here to hold the pin in place instead of bolting it. If you bolt it, you only need one pin, and you can put it on each tool. Or if you're like me and you have a bunch of different pins, bunch of different Z-axis, and a bunch of different sizes that you need to indicate, you can actually just buy different size pins, glue them in, bolt them in, and then you don't have to change the pins out throughout the system. Okay. But this is nice when added with a glass pane with levelers. You can tram your system real easy. I really like that. Any pins, or do they need to be precise? I only use precision dowel pins because I use them for fixturing and everything. I've talked about these many a times. These are precision quarter-inch dowel pins. They're Blanchard grounded with a thousandths tolerance, so it's plus or minus 1/1000 at 0.25, 250. So it can be as big as 0.251 and as small as 0.249. Okay, that's the precision on these. Most of the ones that I mic, they mic out right at 0.25. So these two prints are really good to use. Can I use an old broken quarter-inch shank tool? Yes, you can. You just have to make sure that the part you're putting in, the hole is concentric to the part that you're putting in of the broken tool. So if you have a quarter-inch shaft with a half-inch tool, and there's still half-inch tooling on the shaft, then the hole in here needs to be half-inch. Okay. If anything, take an angle grinder or a hacksaw and just cut the rest of the oversized tool off so that you just get a quarter-inch shank. Or you can make this hole an 1/8 inch and use 1/8 inch dowel rods. I like quarter-inch. It gives you a little bit more beef. Most everybody's using quarter-inch tooling, so you don't have to change your collet out or anything like that. But you can use this in the spindle with a setup like this. So this pin goes up in the spindle, and you can actually indicate across your table, across your wood. Like with this, I can do a 16-point surface probe and see where is my highest point and by how much is it higher than the lowest point. Okay. One last question. When will the Croft CNC apparel be for sale? Shirts and hats. Right now, I have no Croft CNC apparel because I'm really not doing much with Croft CNC at the moment. Croft CNC will be doing a little bit more in the new year, but I thank you for the question on that. It's not really what we're here for. But this dial indicator here was for my yes, CNC Newbies USA. Yes, that is me, and that is what we're doing in the new year and stuff like that. But you guys may recognize this as an X-Carve mount. Okay, this is the Inventables X-Carve mount, and this dial indicator was put so it was a fixture that could go on the side. And once again, I could probe the surface of the spoil board, the fixture, the rough wood, and that can help you set up how deep you're going to make your facing cuts. So instead of wasting your time and taking off a quarter-inch material and really not having an idea of where you're going with it, you can utilize these tools to set your machine up and set your coating up correctly so that you're not wasting time, you're not wasting material, because the thicker your piece of wood, the more you're going to be able to do with it. So you may need it at a certain depth, a certain thickness. You can do a surfacing pass and then zero off the table and then touch the top. And you'll be able to tell how much deviation across the board it is. Then I have some different touch offs. These are systems that I use for leveling out and setting up gantry systems to make sure that they're the right height off of each extrusion from Y1 to Y2. That way the gantry from left to right is the right height. Then I can move it forward and back, and I can make sure that the front of the gantry and the back of the gantry aren't tilted one way or another, helping me in assembly. So just a real simple piece of 2020 extrusion, a T-slot nut, and a bolt. And then I can turn this. I can actually make an angle bracket so that it goes that way, and I can turn the dial indicator and measure up and down, and so on and so forth. So all of these things are very, very easy to make. You can do a lot of stuff. This is a 3D printed part. You can actually make this out of wood, just a scrap piece of wood. I don't have any scrap pieces just laying right here, but I have like extra aluminum laying around, and I cast aluminum. So I actually cast this assembly in aluminum, and we'll put out a full toolkit here, and I'll show you guys kind of the different stuff that we work with and where we're going. Another cool setup is this dial indicator, and you can replace this pin with a bunch of different sized pins. So you can actually mount this into a hole like that, and then have a pin going across here, like a 1/4-inch pin. And when you have that assembly, you can put this through the hole there, and you'll have a test indicator sweeper. So you can actually push forward and back on that. You can adjust this. So you can actually indicate the back surface of a vice jaw, and a bunch of different systems like that. These dial test indicators and indicators are such that they're so useful. I use them on my 3D printers to get the gantry squared up. Okay, I use them on my routers. I use them on my stone engraver. I use them on my plasma system, my mill, my lathe. I mean, there is so much that you can do with these things, and you can get really good precision with them if you know how to set them up. Prime example, my lathe here. Before I started CNCing it, I would mount an indicator here, and that would tell me when to stop so I didn't run my tool into the chuck. And then I would mount an indicator on the back side of it, and that would allow you to go back to zero and take up any backlash. So I could theoretically set up multiple dial indicators. So I would set up 2 on this system, 2 on this system, and then I would set 1 up on my tailstock, and that would allow me to basically zero out my machine and have a location readout. Okay, so I could take up any backlash. I would understand, like, okay, I made this cut. Now I go back to zero. I reset my handle gauge, and that takes up my backlash. So anytime I would change directions, I didn't have to worry about backlash. So I could get very good precision parts out of a $500 lathe from Harbor Freight. This one was actually, this is how old this one is. This was bought in the Cummings tool sales, when Cummings Tools used to just drive the 18-wheeler trailers around. That's how old that machine is. It's pretty much the same machine that you get at Harbor Freight. It's a Siege C2 lathe. The mini mills, I shown you guys the mini mills. I also use dial indicators on my saws, on my table saws, to help set my depth for fixtures and to help set my blade for squareness. These things you can never, it's just like wrenches and ratchets and 10 millimeter sockets. You can never have too many. And whenever you have enough, you're still not there. So we got some stuff here. Okay, let's see. I like the hat. Someone was sending me a dial indicator. That must be BNR talking about the dial indicator that I was supposed to send a while ago. What about CA glue? We talked. Any pins? We talked. Broken shank tool? We talked. Croft CNC and CNC for Newbies USA apparel. And careful showing your age there, brother. Yes, the Cummings tool sales definitely age me. But so we shown some X-Carve specific dial indicator mount. Then I have a specific mount that I actually use on multiple CNC for Newbies machines and multiple tools, that actually slides over the front and bolts down. So, you guys have to kind of figure out what you have to measure, how you have to measure it, and where you're going to get your tolerances from. And then you can actually utilize these tools to make everything go smoothly. Okay. The goal here is to make precision parts the best that you can and keep pushing forward from there. You guys, whenever it comes to tramming, you have to have dial indicators to get precision. Okay. I know some of the guys are like, get a piece of wood, a broken bit, and maybe a drill bit or an end mill or a V bit or something, and just go until it touches both sides. Yeah, you could do that. It works, but I mean, I can get my tram within a half a thousandths from side to side without any issues. But in the same token, I have digital indicators. I have inexpensive Harbor Freight indicators, and I have $400 indicators, and I have a $700 Starrett 2-inch indicator. Good tools are expensive and hard to come by sometimes. But if you know what you're doing and you know what your tolerances are, you can definitely achieve great tolerances with minimal effort just by using a couple dial indicators. And for you guys that are doing like rough cut lumber and you're planing on the routers, this is an easy way for you to go ahead and do it. And you're going to know where you're high, where you're low, by how much deviation there is and how much time it's going to take you to surface your part. So just be aware of all that. I guess I'll quit running my mouth and let you get back. Somebody said that they hate tramming. It's a love-hate relationship for me. I hate going through the process, but I love the outcome and I love the finished products from tramming. So there are a lot of guys on here that are going to tell you, you can tram it. I tram it in 20 minutes. And to those that have trimmed their machine before and it's that close, yeah, you could do it in 20 minutes. You're not doing a precision job in 20 minutes, but I trim in 20 minutes, but to do an actual good tram job, I pick 7 spots on the table and I tram at those 7 spots with dual dial indicators. So I have a system like this that has another dial indicator coming out this way, and actually here they are. And these are good for setting squares, setting square material and stuff. This is just a double indicator setup. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So other than that, do you guys have any questions on different dial indicator setups? We've got, so when are you coming to tram my machine? Facebook user, I don't know who it is that's doing that needs tramming, but if you pay for me to get there and you pay my shop hours, by all means, I'll tram your machine and it'll be set and ready to go. Another one says I make a mean cheese sandwich. Okay. With that being said, I think they're trying to pay me in cheese sandwiches.